So WKNJ 90.3 FM, we're back, and we have a very special guest in the house. A man I've had the honor and privilege of knowing for at least, it has to be at least a good 6 years right now. I'd have to say, I've known you for at least 6 years now, right? Or long?
Man, I feel like it's been probably since '08, so...
But long, no, I think along than that, been like '06, '07. When you first moved to New York, right? Back when MySpace was the poppin' website.
Taking us back, man. You taking it back.
What's going on? This gentleman goes, I knew him back when he was P.SO, but now he goes by P.SO.
Right, P.SO, the Earthtone King.
The Earthtone King, and he has a new album, The Gateway to Greatness. I remember back when you did your first mixtape.
Oh yeah, you did have the first.
I had the very first, the first mixtape that you put out.
You were back in the DJ E's days, weren't
you? Yes. Yes, and when you had that mixtape and it showed you hugging a woman that says "I love hip hop" on the cover.
Wow.
And you had to insert the case and all of that. The joints back. Oh man.
That's respect that you had that. Yeah, that's definitely like original. Like that music isn't even online. That's how long ago that.
Yeah, I know, and I had when you first had the song "Thinking a lot Today."
Right. Wow.
all of that, and and one of these nights, all of that.
Well, if you have those joints, make sure you hold on to them because not too many people have those songs. So yeah,
of course, man, I have rare vintage stuff. But you have a new record right now, P.SO, the Earthtone King, the Gateway to Greatness. I mean,
Indeed.
You've been out, I know you still rep Buffalo. That's your hometown where you grew up.
Indeed.
Blow City, a.k.a.
Shout out all the people in 716.
But yes, so what's the story behind this album?
The Gateway to Greatness, I've been working on it for about 2 years. It's both an album and a graphic novel. I've always been a comic book head, comic book nerd. I've been reading them since I was a kid, and one of my best friends was a really dope illustrator, so we decided to collaborate and do a graphic novel. Okay. So we did a 45-page graphic novel, and the first chapter of it is in the digital booklet of the album.
Wow.
Gateway to Greatness. So the album is really like, here, I'm just showing you on my iPad right here, the graphic novel, just so you can take a look at it. You can flip the pages if you want. But basically, the album itself, musically, is kind of like a combination of different styles, a combination of different, musical styles that I've always, been a fan of. I start off as a fan of music. Before I'm even like an artist, I'm a fan first. And I'm a fan of jazz, soul, electronic, all of that stuff. So I incorporate all of that into the album, but it's still hip hop at the end of the day. Yeah,
because I remember when I first went to your house when you was living in Brooklyn, that back in the day, but near King's Plaza when you first moved out to New York, and you had a beat and you were like, you might not like it. I'm like, no, I like this beat. This thing is hot. You were like, yeah, I listen to all types of music, and I'm like, yeah, so do I. I'm like, nah, I really dug your style and the music. And back when you was a little chubby, you've been hitting the gym. You know?
Man. I got focused on fitness. I lost about 40 pounds maybe over the years. Just started eating right. Just started working out. And that's just because I wanted to have the body, the mind, and the soul all proper, ready to take this voyage through this music stuff. So
because the album really has been getting a lot of positive reception from both the fans and critics alike. As an artist who has put in a lot of hard work, how does it make you feel to hear the praises of your music?
It feels great, but I'm not satisfied yet. I mean, shout out all the people who have listened to the album and appreciate it, but we have a long way to go. There's a lot of people who aren't up on it, who haven't heard it, and I'm going to be working this album for a while to make sure that I reach all the people. But it does feel good to get recognition for your craft. I definitely, it's weird because I haven't had any negative reception yet. I'm going to wait for the real official album reviews to come in, but I'm pretty confident that everyone's going to receive it well. Just because there's not too much music out there like this. It's pretty unique in terms of hip hop right now. So,
do you have any guest spots on this record?
Yeah, I got work with a few different people on this one. Homie Eighth One's on there.
Shout out to Eighth One.
Shout out Eighth One. Homeboy Sandman is on
there.
Shout
out to Homeboy Sandman.
Shout out Homeboy Sandman. I also have Coco Sarai. She drops by for a quick little joint. Denisha Odigi, she's a really dope vocalist singer. I don't know if you've heard of Cena and Denisha. They have a new little group out right now that's dropping some really dope stuff. And the homeboy Out of Sight is on there. I work with this crew called Club Casa. Andrew Reed, he does a hook on it too. So I work with various different musicians, vocalists.
And on this project, did you do all the production or?
I did like maybe 4 or 5 joints I produced.
Because I know you were actually a producer and an MC. Because
right now for my production, I still produce, but it's more about music, what I call like music supervision, where I get beats from different producers and I fill in the blanks.
Okay.
Most of the time it's bass lines, but I fill in the blanks, or I add elements. For me, I like to blend boom bap with organic stuff. So it's like none of my beats are completely just like all samples or completely like live instruments. It's gonna be a mixture of different elements, some electronic elements, some sample elements, some organic elements, and whatever works, it works. So a lot of the beats that I may not have produced originally, I did so much input onto the beat, and my engineer, we did so much different EQing. It's a different style production.
I know that for you being from Buffalo, I mean, I don't know, from what I understand, I know they have like the college radio scene, SUNY Buffalo, because shout out to my cousin Von Richie, he had a show up there.
Shout out to Von Richie.
Rich had a show up there, and he was saying that they have like many college towns, they all have their underground scene, but Buffalo isn't known for bringing out mainstream acts. And I know you told me, like, when you started out, like, it was hard for you to get beats from people in there before the internet age,
right.
And like you had to become your own producer. That really how the story went for you?
Well, I mean, that's 2 different questions. As far as me making beats initially because I couldn't get them, yeah, that's a lot of rappers / producers do that. When you start out, you might not have the proper voice as an MC, but you might know your way around an MPC or some type of beat machine. So for me, it was easier to start working on beats before I got really good at writing raps. But as far as Buffalo not putting out a lot of major acts, there's a few different artists from Buffalo, but upstate has a lot of different artists who are doing well in the independent scene and underground or what have you. But we'll see who comes out as a major act. And
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and on the last question I wanted to ask you is, this week is the anniversary of Big Pun 13 years.
Right.
And I know you're a major Big Pun fan. Like,
yeah.
As an MC, like, how did you feel about him? Inspiration, or did you have a favorite Big Pun track? Or
Capital Punishment was my favorite. One of my favorite albums ever in hip hop. And I remember when I read Dream Shatterer, the verse. This is when the Source was out,
and that's back when the Source really
and remember the hip hop quotable used to actually mean something. And I remember reading the Capital the Dream Shatterer verse, reading the Dream Shatterer verse in the Source magazine before I actually heard the song, because this is back before the internet was out. So it took a while for you to hear a new record. And I remember reading it, I was like, this sounds like the most amazing thing I've ever heard. And I remember when the record played, I was like, what? Shattered dreams like short and assault and batter your team. My squadron will be banned forever like Adam and Eve from the garden. I'm carving my initial on your forehead, so every night before bed you see the BP chunk off the board head. Reverse that, I curse that the first back. I was just like, what? Who raps like that? Like, at that time, that was so, like, brilliant for me, So I was just like, okay, this dude is really... has a real strong control over, like, wordplay and just lyricism and stuff. So that whole album, another thing I like about the album, the skits were great. Like I usually don't like skits on hip-hop albums, but there's a few albums that really have great skits, and the skits on that are just hilarious on the Big Pun album. And it's a really long album. It's like
24 tracks. Yeah, 24 tracks.
But you can still really, like, bang it from front to back, and there's not too many albums that's that long, and I'm really trying to bang from front to back. So, rest in peace, Big Pun.
But yeah, as I said, I want to say thank you for coming by, taking time out your busy schedule to come through. And people, don't forget to get the P.SO, the Gateway to Greatness, the Earthtone King.
Go to earthstoneking.com right now. You can get the Gateway to Greatness on iTunes, Amazon, MP3. If you don't like if you just want to stream it, you can stream on Spotify, RDO. It's on Google Play. It's on a whole bunch, basically almost every single digital market. It's there. As far as physical copies, they will be available on the website either this week or next week. We do have them. They actually exist, but they're not available yet. I got a ton of people hitting me up for the physicals right now. But just go to earthtoneking.com or just follow me on all of my social networks. I'm on Twitter. It's P.SO now. That's ITSPSO.
Are you following me?
I'm following you. I'm on Twitter. It's P.SO now. And the website's earthtoneking.com. You can get all my links. You can get the links for the Tumblr, the Facebook. Like me on Facebook. You know, follow me on Tumblr, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, everything. But just go to earthtoneking.com and you can get all those links. And look out for the full graphic novel. It's going to be coming out soon. It'll be available on Android, iPad, all of those different platforms digitally on the internet as well. So yeah, and I got a lot of other videos coming out. I got 2 videos out right now for 2 singles off the album, for Find Out and Vertebrae. You go to my YouTube channel, you just Google, you'll find the videos on there. But we're gonna have like 3 or 4 more videos coming out this year. So just be on the lookout for all of that stuff and just stay abreast, man.
Again, thank you, and it's always a great seeing you, man.
It's good. Honestly, like actually, you just took me down a walk through memory lane because all of those times I didn't even realize that you were at my old crib back in back in the Basin in Brooklyn. Like damn, B, like that's real long ago. That's honestly when I really started like trying to do this music stuff. So I appreciate you, still reaching out to me and keeping me keeping my music playing and stuff.
Of course, I mean, I've known you this long. I mean, hey, you were in the first show I ever threw.
Wow.
Like,
There you go.
Yep.
There you have it.
WKNJ 90.3 FM, Ustream.tv/channel/radio ear to the streets. Every Monday night, P.SO the Earthtone King. Get the album, the Gateway to Greatness, and we'll be back in a little bit.